Hello and welcome to another week of Capital City Sports. I'm your host, Mike Olson.
Thanks, Natalie. The Gamecocks made an impressive comeback in the third quarter, but it proved not enough as they ultimately lost to the Texas A&M Aggies by a final score of 26-23 in Jake Bentley's return to the role of starting quarterback. The Gamecocks came into this matchup the slight underdog to number 22 Texas A&M, but would look to build off of their win in the previous week against Missouri. Defense was the name of the game early on, starting with a sack by Aaron Sterling. The Gamecocks would then march the ball down the field with the help of some big runs from running back Tyson Williams. However, the drive ended with Jake Bentley throwing an interception in the red zone to Charles Oliver. Texas A&M came back and scored on a 52-yard field goal by Seth Small. The Gamecock defense continued to apply pressure, but the A&M offense scored a touchdown followed by a field goal by Small at the end of the first half. The Aggie offense picked up right where they left off, notching another field goal early in the second half. Gamecock offense came out in the second half with new life and looked like a new team as Jake Bentley connected with Shi Smith for a 22-yard touchdown, followed by a successful two-point conversion with a pass to Brian Edwards. The Gamecocks scored again off of a flea flicker pass to Chavis Dawkins to bring them within two. The Gamecocks once again went for the two-point conversion and were successful as Jake Bentley connected with Brian Edwards to tie up the game 16-all. With the game once again tied, Gamecock players and fans were hyped up and looking to complete the comeback victory. But Texas A&M responded with a field goal and a touchdown off of a 3-yard run from Travion Williams, putting the game out of reach with little time left. The Gamecocks would not go down quietly as Jake Bentley completed a 3-yard touchdown pass to Deebo Samuel. While the comeback was both impressive and exciting, it was not enough as time expired and the Aggies secured their win over the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks will go into this bye week looking to eliminate the errors that ultimately cost them the game and will return in 2 weeks against Tennessee at home. For Capital City Sports, I'm Mike Olson. Back to you, Natalie. The Gamecocks got off to a hot start, but it was not enough as Maryland came back and beat them in dominating fashion with a final score of 85-61. This was a highly anticipated matchup as South Carolina came in ranked 10th in the nation and Maryland at number 9. The Gamecocks came out of the gate strong, quickly putting up 18 points on the board while allowing just 6 in the beginning of the first quarter. The Terps responded quickly, however, with a 26-1 run and didn't look back from there, pulling out a 45-26 point lead at halftime. The Gamecocks came out in the second half with no answer for the Terps, who continued to dominate. The Gamecocks only had 29 rebounds compared to Maryland's 53, and South Carolina also struggled from the three-point line, making just 1 out of 21 attempts. Maryland forced twice as many turnovers as the Gamecocks, giving them the edge they needed in a convincing 85-61 victory over South Carolina. The Gamecocks will be traveling up north to Vancouver, where they will be participating in the Vancouver Showcase, taking on East Tennessee State on Thanksgiving. For Capital City Sports, I'm Mike Olson. It's a beautiful afternoon here at Beckham Field where the South Carolina Gamecocks are taking on the Bulldogs from Mississippi State in the third game of their weekend series. The Gamecocks are looking to secure the series sweep today after they won on both Friday and Saturday. Gamecock shortstop Kenzie McGuire was superb in defense, making several great plays early, keeping the Bulldogs off the bases. Questionable pitching and shoddy defense put the Bulldogs in a 2-0 hole early, but pitcher Holly Ward was able to work out of it with a strikeout. McGuire once again put a stop to the offensive efforts of the Bulldogs with her defensive play. Errors proved costly for Mississippi State as they allowed more runs to score off of their poor defense. Mississippi State was able to break through with a couple hits in the top of the fifth that yielded them their first run of the ballgame. Kelsey O came in to pitch with no outs in the fifth and pitched out the remainder of the game. Mississippi State brought their bats out late in the game. After a series of hits, they tied the game in the top of the 5th inning. Good defense, including a double play, prevented the Bulldogs from adding more runs to the board. The Gamecocks came through in the bottom of the 6th, scoring a run off of an error. The Gamecocks scored once more later in the inning, which proved enough as they went on to secure the victory. It was a close one as bats came alive late for both teams, but the Gamecocks came out on top by a score of 5-4. The Gamecocks will look to continue their success this Wednesday in their final home game as they take on Charleston Southern. For Capital City Sports, I'm Mike Olson. We're here at Wheeler Beach where the number 9 South Carolina Gamecocks are taking on the number 19 Tulane Green Wave. The Gamecocks are looking to build off of earlier success where they took down Coastal Carolina. South Carolina's Katie Smith and Katie Bates came out strong, winning the first set of their match by just 2 points. Taryn Mergener and Lan Wynn fired back, winning the second set. The Gamecocks put up a solid performance, but in the end, it wasn't enough, as Tulane won the third set and the first match. South Carolina's Shannon Williams and Allie Denny struggled as they dropped 2 straight sets to Tulane's Madeline Mertz and Kaylee McHugh, extending the lead for Tulane. Julia Manisto and Carly Schneider made a comeback for South Carolina as they took down Ashley Delgado and Addison Hermstad for South Carolina's first victory. The Gamecocks kept the momentum going as Macy Tendrich and Leah Perry defeated Rio Frohoff and Gabriela Becerra. It came down to the wire as South Carolina's Aubrey Ezell and Lydia Demke sealed the deal with a clutch 3-set victory over Tulane's Lauren Orlich and Anna Chin, securing the overall win for the Gamecocks. It was hard fought on both sides, but the Gamecocks came out on top by a score of 3-2. The Gamecocks will look to continue their success tomorrow at 1-5 when they take on Missouri State and College of Charleston. For Capital City Sports, I'm Mike Olson.
That's all we have this week, but make sure to tune in next week for all things Gamecock athletics. And in the meantime, follow us on Twitter at CCS on SGTV. For Capital City Sports, I'm Mike Olson. We'll see you next week.